Hey, hello everyone, and good morning for YouTube here. It's Chris with Elliott Wave Cafe. Welcome to the weekly market analysis. As always, we're going to follow all the indices. I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to dive into a few stocks that look interesting to me. Some of them I have positions in, the others I might be interested in opening positions. But yeah, let's start as always with the indices. Another pretty strong week. I always follow this wave count on the quarterly basis. Some people don't agree with it. I'm getting arguments that this is wave three top, and that's a four, and we're in some kind of a fifth wave. I have absolutely nothing against it. If you choose to count it like that, it's totally fine. That's not my view on the markets and on the future. I think we are in the middle of a larger third wave, and that's how I personally choose to count it. There's nothing wrong. Just because you don't have the data, until the wave one top in here, the length of this wave has absolutely no relevance in what the wave three length could be, kind of going into the years and decades ahead. So for me, this keeps me bullish, keeps me kind of grounded in a market that continues to move higher, and I think it has the potential to continue to do so. So this is the main thing I'm following. Now, let's quickly take a look and run through my, let's say, technical page charts. When I watch the volume, I watch the RSI, the PPO, and just see what these are telling me. In here, you can see we talked about this last week. This kind of bullish engulfing weekly candle that was supposed to lead to further strength. It did so, at least so far this week. The volume in here, I would not put a lot of weight in this one because of the quadruple witching that we had on Friday. So we definitely had a lot of volume there. But anyway, good breakout, close to new all-time highs. I think that continues to look fairly strong up to this point. If we start to kind of come back and lose the low of this candle, then we have to revisit. Nasdaq 100, it's following the same path. Was a little bit weaker. It should continue to travel. I'll go through this page and then I'll go take a look at the wave counts. Semiconductors, they're still struggling slightly. In here you can see Nvidia, it's kind of underperforming. I think it's been a lot of juice that went into that industry and that sector for a while, and it's just kind of going through a period of repricing and consolidation. So I really have not a lot of interest in semiconductors. I think there is a lot more appetite for different sectors. Big tech in here, Magnificent Seven coming back very strongly this week with almost a 3% gain. They continue to lead in here. They look fairly strong. Dow Jones, again, a lot of value, but closing to new all-time highs. I mean, the uptrend, it's clear. We're above all the moving averages. There is really no argument here. We're going in the IWM, which I've reinitiated long positions this week, and we're starting to kind of slowly trend upwards. There's been a lot of chop. We've been in and out of it several times, but again, I'm long small caps in here, and I'm waiting for much larger move above 235, above the highs from back in 2021, and for those to get taken out. Take a look at Bitcoin in here, and we'll go look at the counts, but just on a technical page, the RSI never went below 50 much, just a little bit briefly, and that's the kind of characteristics of a decent correction, and I think with PPO resetting near zero in here, I think Bitcoin it's probably getting ready to go and move above 70,000. I mean, this correction looks like it's in the stages of being completed. So again, we're long Bitcoin as well. Ethereum, struggling a bit more. I've been asked questions if we should invest in Ethereum rather than Bitcoin because this one would have more potential to go. I don't really subscribe to that notion. I used to think like that maybe years back, but you want to stick with where the strength is. And for right now, I think Bitcoin is outperforming. It's stronger. Ethereum is still struggling a little bit, so I would not necessarily overweight Ethereum over Bitcoin at this point. I'm not saying it's not going to go. It could and maybe it will, but always stick with with the stronger currencies or stocks and anything in any sector, in any industry. You want to pick the best movers. 10-year yield just coming back a little bit. I mean, we all know that the Fed cut rates with 50 basis points. That should be fairly bullish for the market with the economy that's still doing well. US dollar, it's threatening to break that 100 level. Obviously, there's a lot of support there, but I think the trend is now to the downside and it should continue to drop lower. Gold obviously responds by moving higher, 26.46. Been bullish gold. It is bullish, continues to remain bullish. It looks strong. There's nothing to do here. If you have gold, I would continue to hold it. Silver, it's a bit off a laggard in here, but nice ABC 1, 2, and I think we're beginning a much larger third wave upwards in silver as well. And then oil, it's basically doing nothing. There's no interest there, and volatility continues to drop. Okay, so quickly let's go take a look at the wave counts. So this is the weekly S&P 500 with that 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 wave 2, another 1, another 2 in here, and we're breaking. We're looking for the S&P to get towards 6,000 and 6,500 into next year, and continue to kind of build this nice trend higher eventually towards 7,000, maybe by the end of 2025 or so. So that's kind of my route, and that's what I'm watching. And then obviously on a daily basis you have your correction, you have your 1 2, you broke above it, above 56.51. There might be another little bit of a pullback, and then we'll see if it can continue to push higher. Nasdaq Composite, take a look here at the weeklies. So it's on the same pattern. If you've been following my videos, I haven't modified anything in here. So 1 2, and we need to see because this back here, this was a pretty good signal that this correction is over. So let's see if 18,671 gets taken out. We're on an election year. Russell 2000 with the wave count, very simple, 1 2 1. I think that's a 2, and now we're beginning the next larger leg upwards. Dow Jones Industrial looking even healthier. We talked about this guy when he was making this wave 2, and now it broke higher. So what I'm waiting for the much bigger explosion in here towards 44,000. Now you hear me, I sound very bullish, but I'm always watching the markets on a daily basis, and I reserve the right to change my mind. And the way we do it is we have certain levels of exposure to the market from, let's say, 0 to 10%, all the way up to 100%. And if the market does not behave how we think it will, right, we're just kind of coming back and paring back some of the positions and just selling some stocks and just raising more cash, and then we accelerate again. So it's not everything all in all the time, right? There is ways to kind of do this. Is just the direction of the market that kind of gives me confidence. If I'm seeing clearly some of these levels get taken down, I'm not saying that all of a sudden you're moving into a bear market. All I'm saying is that then you got to step back and just reanalyze and just cut back a little bit on your bullish exposure, and then see what happens. Because if you have stops on your positions, on your stocks or whatever you have, right, those stops will take you out, and it will basically tell you, hey, if you're getting stopped out, maybe it's time to revisit any bullish position. So that's just a little disclaimer there in terms of kind of how we're moving. IBIT, right, along in here, we're trying to break the top of this possible wave 1, this nice pullback into the 61.8, and I'm looking to see if we can get a break of 38, 42, 44, and continue to go higher as Bitcoin will move towards 70,000. And then here is the wave count in gold. This is from a monthly perspective, basically. I think, it went through its corrections, and it's in a pretty decent uptrend, and this thing could probably look something like this over years. So that's kind of my take on gold right now. I don't think you break and then you just quickly stop. This has been a huge consolidation in gold for many years. Was it 3-4 years, and we're finally breaking out of it. I think there is a lot more to go. It's not going to happen overnight. It will have its starts and pullbacks, but overall the direction is in gold. It's this one in my view. All right, really quickly, let's also take a look at Bitcoin wave count. So let me go and show you my weekly in here. That's the idea. We've been watching this for ever since it's kind of starting forming from an ABC, then to a W, then to a WXY, then I mean clearly corrective, overlapping, and all we gotta see now it's a break of that 70K. And then a much stronger move. I mean, this is a weekly chart. I think it's got a potential to go over 100 and so on as the next bullish leg in Bitcoin begins, probably along with the stocks. And I don't have the label in here, but again, you saw it in IBIT, probably a 1 and a 2 in here, and we'll see if we can break above there. Okay, let's take a look now at a few stocks that I think look interesting. One of them it's VST. I mean, we traded this one in the room, and I alerted my members on the chat as well. Like we bought it ever since it broke back here. Now it made a nice move about 107. This is a utility stock, energy, right, with very low yield, but nice breakout in here, awesome volume. I took some profits right at the highs on Friday, and partially about I think 20% of my position. We'll see if we do a little bit of a pullback, and I'm gonna look to either reinvest that or see if we can add and rebuild it. But for right now, this looks pretty good. I wouldn't buy it here for sure. Then you have IoT, Samsara. This one continues to build kind of a bullish look in here. Then you have Dash. Again, I don't own Dash yet, but I'm probably going to start buying it next week. It looks like a 1-2 in here, 1-2, and then a much larger 3, 4, and 5 should be starting in Dash. Watch these highs. There's probably going to be a little bit of resistance there, maybe a little pullback, but looks good over let's say the upcoming weeks and months. Meta is another one that we initiated on the break of this level, so I'm long Meta, nice volume. Should continue to move towards 600. Monday.com. This one, it's also a position that we initiated on this breakout, so this looks good at about 280. It's still not late to get in my view, but if you're starting to break below 258 in here, then definitely that has to be revisited. Palantir, very strong. I don't own it. I don't think I did own it several times on this uptrends, but right here, maybe looks a bit extended, but it's a nice uptrend established, so I'll look for reasons to get in it once it gives me a little bit of a pullback. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but it's a healthy stock that looks good. Then you have RCL, which is doing a 1-2, and it should be breaking out and continue to move higher. Some of the other stocks we own and we have is Kava. This one continues to look very strong. I talked about it last week. It's one of the leaders. You take a look also, so there is Kava. Then we had APP. This one I got out of after a pretty strong move in there. So we go in and out of things, and we're looking for wave 2 pullbacks, and then for the break of that initial top of the wave 1 to start to get ready for a much larger third wave. So that's how we do it. I talk about it in the chat, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. So you can see the link to my Substack below this video. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, I think I covered everything. If any questions, comments, suggestions, or if you have any other wave counts that are interesting, let me see them, and I'll be happy to analyze or to just have a different view. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.